Oh, damn! I didn't change the banner. It still says we'll start in a few minutes. I don't know why. That's very odd. How's everything, Lewis? You seem subdued today.
I've been
Is
up
that
since 7 in the morning.
what were you doing up at 7 in the morning?
I don't feel like I shared that with you. I don't think we're that close yet.
Like, what are you doing up at 7 o'clock in the morning?
Staring.
I never seen or heard you awake at 7 o'clock in the morning.
You do for Vegeta. You do
Okay,
for
yeah.
Vegeta.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so Lewis, I know we were talking about it a little bit earlier, but how was the event today with who is it again?
Chris Sabat.
Chris Sabat. Who is Chris Sabat, Lewis? Tell the people who Chris Sabat is.
Voice actor of Vegeta, Piccolo. 2 episodes for not Raditz. He was Raditz for a second. Forgot that one. Yamcha Shenron.
Uh-huh.
Captain Yami from Black Clover. All Might from My Hero Academia. Roronoa Zoro from One Piece. And smaller works that I can't remember their names because I'm not too much of a follower.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just had to open my can of Zoa energy drink. Dwayne Johnson's energy drink because I need his energy right now. I'll get myself Dwayne Johnson energy. Just saying. Anyways, so
That
did you
sounds
get
like great quality content from what you would
Hey,
get from
Lewis, look.
HBO Max for $14.99.
Sorry to interrupt you, but look, Salman Key memes. He said he's from Pakistan. Maybe that's the one person from Pakistan that we have like listening to us and watching us.
Why?
You think?
Go to sleep.
Go to sleep. What are you doing?
What's
Just
the time
watch
zone
this
in
later.
Pakistan right now? Like Jesus, Pakistan.
I don't know. While you look up what time it is in Pakistan, what time did the event end with Chris Sabat?
About 5 o'clock.
Did you get anything signed?
Yeah, it's in my car.
Oh, okay. What did you get signed?
Oh, well, technically not really. I didn't get it signed. What I'm doing with my pop, because I don't really buy pops anymore.
Yeah.
I got that Imagine Vegeta signed by him like 2 years ago, and all I'm doing now is like every time I meet him, I'm just gonna make him write like a new phrase for that character until that pop is fully just phrased out.
Right.
So yeah, I'm
right.
Pretty happy about it.
4:11 at night, he says.
That's not terrible.
4:11. That's still like that's still late. Go to sleep, my friend.
I mean, that's normally when I go to sleep, but not because I have anything to do. It's just because of my insomnia.
If you are that one person from Pakistan that we have there, thank you for listening to our Spotify too as well.
You're just trying to make him stay for the Spotify.
We have one person.
You came for the live show, but you stay for the Spotify.
But you stay for the Spotify. There's like one person in Spotify in Pakistan. It was hilarious because we're like in what four countries. Pakistan's one of them. Italy's one. England's another. And there was like one in Brazil or Costa Rica, somewhere around there. It's insane. I don't know who wants to listen to us, who listens to us consistently. Kind of weird, isn't it?
Not really. For you.
So today we want to talk about briefly before we start recording for our Spotify show. There's a couple of things that I want to mention. One thing that I want to mention is the Tyler Kirkham exclusive variant cover that we have for Magic #1 is now out. It's right here. I'll share it in the screen with Lewis in here. It's out now. You guys are welcome to actually purchase it. So you see it down right there.
You're still gonna get in trouble for all that music, and I keep telling you.
It's right there. I took off the music. So essentially, right there, that is the cover reveal that we have for Tyler's variant covers for Magic #1. That is selling really well too. Actually, we have bundles right now on our website. Go to comicscorppromotions.com. There are still some bundles in there left. We also have a signing with Tyler himself. That's going to be happening pretty soon. I'm just going to take this out. That's going to be happening pretty soon too as well. So the signing with Tyler will be happening later on. I believe the last day that you can submit is May 24th. So you have some time. Go through your stock of Tyler books and exclusives and get those signed. Get those in right now too as well. With that being said, too, as well, I want to talk about a couple of things, Lewis. Big movies are coming out from HBO Max, $14.99 a month. Unlimited movies in there, too, as well. Release date will be the exact same day as the movie theaters. So you have 30 days to watch the movies on
God,
HBO
that's too
Max.
short. I need at least 4 months for movies to be in a movie theater for me to watch them now.
So you have 30 days to watch it free at HBO Max with no charge, or you can actually watch it in movie theaters too as well. HBO Max, $14.99.
$14.99.
So essentially, there's big movies coming out. Can I? You already seen? We've already talked about Godzilla vs Kong. You've seen it, right?
Nope.
You have not seen Godzilla vs Kong.
I mean, the way you sold it to me, I don't even want to watch it anymore. If it's just Batman versus Superman 3.0.
Not gonna lie, there were some elements of that, but
you
still,
told me it was scene for scene. I don't want to watch another Batman versus Superman film.
Yeah, but
this ruined the Godzilla movie for me.
But this movie is being praised. It's like really nice, really good movie. But
you say that, but yeah, you said Batman versus Superman scene for scene. I don't want to watch it anymore.
You and I both know that the movie that you and I and everybody else in the world has been looking forward to, besides Zack Snyder's Justice League, is Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah.
Mortal Kombat is out in 2 weeks.
The reasons why I'm excited for, you hate. The reasons why you're excited for, I hate. You hate the campiness, and I love the campiness. I hate the seriousness of the movie. You love the seriousness of the movie.
Essentially, all I'm saying is that you can keep
Kano.
No. You can keep like the quirks and all whatnot, but it has to be tasteful.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. It has to be tasteful. You and be like, I don't care if it's tasteful or not. Plug it in. Here's my money. $14.99.
They gave me the come over here. Kano wins. Like I'm a simple person with simple tastes, and that's all I need.
You're a simple man.
I'm a simple man.
You're a simple man.
I just want terrible, misplaced, random, doesn't really make sense, gratuitous violence, and lines from a game that's way too old for it to be a movie.
You are the main reason why there is 7 sequels of that stupid ass goddamn Resident Evil movie. You're the sole reason. You're the financier. You're the financier of that movie.
I have watched every single one of those horseshit movies except the first one.
It's
3 different times, and I
literally all your fault.
Yes, I know.
It's literally all your fault. You know that, right?
Also, I want to add on to that: the Monster Hunter movie was only passively my fault.
Passively, it's probably you're the reason why it actually passed.
At all
to be shown.
God, that movie was god awful. Made no sense.
Paul W. Anderson should not make movies anymore. That's all I'm saying.
Like, death is too much of a justification. That's too swift of an ending.
But he still landed.
Shaming.
But he still landed Mina Movovich, though. So I'm just saying.
God, every time.
He still landed him in the movie.
Every time, and I
So-
can't blame him for trying.
He's good though. He's good.
He has very specific taste on what he wants the movie to look
So
like.
let me ask you this, Lewis. The
Yeah.
future of cinema right now is, I'm not gonna say it's bleak, but it is getting some
It's
sort
fun.
of shine. It's getting some sort of shine because this is what's happening. Okay, essentially, they're planning to go back 100% in movie theaters by 2022. Okay. HBO said that what they're doing right now is only for 2021. 2022, they said they're going to go back to the movie theaters. I don't think that's the case.
I think that it's going to be more of a hybrid version.
Yes.
Where they're still going to offer you
Mm-hmm.
the HBO Maxes, the Netflix, and all that, and alongside theater releases. But the theater releases, rather than being 1 month, it's going to go back to its normal length.
Because I think the success of WandaVision, the success of Zack Snyder's Justice League, the success of Godzilla really, really messed it up for moviegoers because it became so much more accessible. People can just watch it. If you go to Costco, like we've talked about this already. When you go to Costco, essentially the first thing that you'll see is that they're selling TVs that are like 85-inch for cheap, and then sound systems and whatnot, because that's basically where it's going to go now. That's essentially where it's going to go now.
You really only need one of those systems from your house. Like, why would you want a movie theater in every single room that has a TV?
No, of course. And then you know what made it worse? And we talked. I sent you the link for this. I think I texted you a picture a couple of days ago. Do you remember that? The deal with Netflix.
Oh, God damn it! Give me a second.
So while you look for it, I'm just gonna tell everyone the deal with Netflix.
I'm trying to remember if I'm angry or happy about this. Oh yeah, this was cool.
That was pretty big. So what was the news? What was the news?
Sony and Netflix reached a new deal so that Netflix has all the rights to all the Sony Marvel movies.
No. Sony owned Marvel movies, which is just Spider-Man. That's all it is.
Yeah, Spider-Man, Morbius, the Sinister Six, all those. Yeah.
So
literally everything Marvel wishes to have again.
So let me put it this way. Sony is not like Universal. It's not like Warner Brothers. It's not like Paramount, where their library extends decades, right? It's not like that. But still, Sony moving forward a streaming deal with their exclusively for their upcoming movies, that is still a really big deal, because the format that HBO is doing right now is essentially a format that everybody likes and loves. You saw the announcement for Black Widow, right?
Like 3 years ago?
No, Black Widow. Recently.
3 years ago. Yeah, it's already been out 3 years ago.
So Black Widow will now be in Disney Plus and movie theaters.
Why are they adding a 3-year-old movie into Disney Plus?
So Black Widow will now be in Disney Plus and movie theaters in the same time. Essentially the same thing as HBO Max is doing.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that anybody actually cares about the Black Widow movie anymore?
Yes.
I just kind of gave up on it.
Let me put it this way. If it wasn't for WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Loki,
probably
that move, no one will care. No one will care about Black Widow, the movie itself, because that movie looks good, but it cannot carry all of MCU. Does that make sense?
Well, it would have done something 3 years ago. Not anymore.
Yeah, yeah. It's still a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I think it has a really nice
I'll still
trailer.
watch it. What? By the way, when's Loki supposed to come out? End of April.
About a month before Black Widow.
So end of April.
I believe so. No, May.
End of May. God, it's too long.
Middle of May, I believe it
Okay.
is. Middle of May. Because the Falcon and Winter Soldier ends in 2 weeks. Remember, it's only a 6-part series. So that's what's happening right now. So essentially, what's gonna happen is that the whole movie experience is gonna be moving to home. That's just what it looks like. You are right. I think there's gonna just be a hybrid of movie that's just gonna be happening. You know what I mean? Like there's just gonna be movie theaters and streaming service, which sucks though because I saw the last Blockbuster. Have you seen the documentary?
No, and I'm not interested.
Oh, you'll love it.
I mean, who cares really? Like it.
No,
the only thing I'd be
it.
interested in it is like the business aspect on how like they had, pretty much everything with an iron fist, and then because they wouldn't adapt and wouldn't change with the technology, they just like gypped and no longer relevant.
Oh no, you'll love it. When you see it, it's just amazing because it's like they had one part where they were talking about how Netflix and Blockbuster were really equal in terms of financially. Financially, they were equal, right? They were toe to toe. Like one of them is not over the other. And then what ended up happening was Netflix went to Blockbuster and said, "Hey, do you guys want to buy Netflix?" And then they're like, "Ha ha ha! Streaming movies, TV?
No.
You stupid! Go ahead, go away, man, go away." So there was one part where Netflix kept going to Blockbuster trying to sell Netflix to them. So they kept coming back with an offer, and then one of the ex-executive there said they were throwing everything, including the kitchen sink. And when I mean that, like, I don't mean that as a saying. I actually mean that, like, in reality,
and
they actually
you meant it literally.
Yeah, literally. Sorry, literally. He goes, I mean that literally. One time they actually mailed in a kitchen sink and asked the executives, "What else do you want?" And
that's
Blockbuster,
cheeky, I like it.
Yeah, and Blockbuster still said no. So
yeah, how do you think they feel now that their stock is non-existent and a single store left?
So
I really hope in my heart of heart the CEO or executive or like president works there.
Yeah. So it's hey, look, it's Itch.
Hey,
so essentially there is the part of the documentary where John Oliver bought all the movie props from Russell Crowe, and then they sent all those movie props to the one in Alaska.
I was very shocked that the Alaskan one failed, especially
that
it was literally a museum to Russell Crowe.
You're the only Blockbuster in Alaska. How did you manage to mess that up?
Not only is it the only Blockbuster in Alaska, it's also a museum to Russell Crowe's greatness.
Yeah, like his jockstrap.
Jockstrap from The Gladiator?
Cinderella Man.
Was it Cinderella Man? Yeah, no.
I believe it was Cinderella Man. Yeah, it was Cinderella Man. Was there. It was like the most hilarious thing ever. So
not even John Oliver can save.
I know, not even John Oliver could save them, man. It was crazy. So I want to talk about a little bit about DC and Marvel before we take that discussion into our podcast in a little bit. Hey, what's up, Nathan? So essentially, I sent you a bunch of links because it's going to relate to our main topic for the 1 hour. What's going on?
Which of the 40?
I know there was a lot, right? It says I watched Blockbuster documentary. Honestly, underwhelming, but
It's a
lot of nuggets
documentary
on it.
about Blockbuster.
Yeah, it's nice.
Your like bar should have been underwhelming.
It's like don't expect anything from
Don't
it,
expect. They're talking about the success and the downfall of a business. There's not a lot there other than you're excited for the math.
It's just literally like, man,
man.
And it just like, man, that was underwhelming.
I thought it was gonna be transcending. I thought it was gonna change my mind. I'm like, oh, okay, so you told me everything I knew. Okay. Kind of also, they were successful and then they failed. Yeah, I knew this. What else?
Did you think it was gonna be like some some kind of mind changing?
They only failed because they were in a lawsuit because they were trafficking drugs through their like stores. They were like a giant cartel. You were expecting something exciting? No, they were a thriving business, and then they got complacent and died.
You know, I do actually want to go to Portland to actually visit that Blockbuster.
Don't you live close to Portland?
It's about
relatively
6 hours.
I mean, it's not bad.
No. How far is the drive from Portland, Rich? Like what? 12 hours? Around there? Yeah, she's like sleeping.
Just let her sleep.
It's like around 12, 16-hour drive or somewhere around there. So
I mean, that's terrible.
Yeah, I would want to go there. Why not?
But then once you get to there and then you go into the Blockbuster, you're gonna realize a few things. One, it's as shitty as I remember it. It still smells the same no matter which one I go to.
Yeah.
And fuck, it's Portland. What do I do now? Fish? I don't fish.
But I do want to get in touch with Marvel and DC. So you saw those links that I sent you. Man, they are literally throwing everything just to get people to buy their stuff. I mean, the amount of new character introduction that they've done.
I mean, it's good for like store business.
I mean, okay, let me put it this way. Do you really think they're gonna all those characters that they just introduced will amount to anything besides Punchline and Ghostmaker?
Almost immediately die. That's it. That's my only thoughts.
Like Monkey Prince?
My problem with Monkey Prince, even though I'm a big lover of Journey to the West, it's DC, and there are other attempts at Asian inspired heroes, and written very poorly, and just die. They don't really get much longevity. They don't get much importance because they literally detach them from like even the States and then somewhere else.
Right.
And you don't, and it feels like they only appear sometimes. So do they exist? Do they not exist? Why does this feel like an Earth 2 scenario where like they're only there when it's convenient?
Right.
So I never really understood. Like, I understand why they're doing it. It's just like, I hope they don't just, oh yeah, we did it because it was the climate of the time, and then boom, we killed them off, or we just stopped writing them.
Yeah, remember those Gen Z superheroes that Marvel introduced? Like, I don't know what happened to that.
Which ones?
You know, the one Snowflake and Safe Space.
The
one that were the characters that Joe Rogan was making fun of.
I remember them. Even George, the lover of all things, could not like it.
And he loves everything.
And he loves everything. But even he thought, like, this is not for anyone specific or just too specific.
Yeah. Like Snowflake.
And it's not like it was a story made in parody. It was a serious book that, how do you take these two concepts and actually make it work story-wise?
Right.
So, you know, I don't know. I thought they canceled that book.
I actually don't know. I didn't follow it.
Or did I?
After the news broke about it, I didn't really care, and then I didn't
I
really care enough to follow it.
I don't
So it's like,
remember it ever being on sale. I don't ever remember it
oh yeah, it
being.
was. No, it was on sale. Yes, remember we were
Was
talking
it issue
about it.
one?
No. Remember we were talking about it because there was one store in New Jersey that bought like 1,000 copies of it. Yeah,
He
he
has the
bought a
entire
thousand.
stock then.
He bought 1,000 copies, and they asked him, "Why would you buy 1,000 copies of this?" And he goes, "Well, any press is good press." You're
I
like,
mean,
no,
he won. Like
like
technically,
no.
he did win.
So now he's sitting on 1,000 copies of Snowflakes and Safe Space.
What do you think the percentage that he owns of that book? It's not 100% because there's always like Midtown and all these other stores
I
and
don't even think
Torpedo.
I don't even think
Yeah, no,
Midtown.
it's Midtown. They don't care. They'll buy. They'll for a fact they bulk buy. Give me like whatever of everything, and then our usual like 2,000 orders of the more popular books. They'll buy everything. So, but I think he owns at least 60% of the
Yeah,
population.
yeah. By the way, before we move forward to as well, I want to thank everybody who's been subscribing to us. I can't say this enough. Everyone who subscribed to us on our YouTube channel, on our Instagram channel, and whatnot. We're at 2,000 like followers, subscribers here in YouTube, and we're at 47,000 followers on Instagram right now, which is insane. Like I said before, once we hit 50,000 followers, which Lewis, you might like this little tidbit. 50,000 followers. No one has broke 50,000 followers but Midtown Comics. So it's only us in Midtown Comics, which is insane. So thank you for everyone who's following us and whatnot. And like I said before, I will make good on my promise that once we hit 50,000 followers, 50% off the entire site. I keep that promise. And Lewis is
And
going to
I promise to do nothing.
So, and then our viewership too as well has increased too as well. Like our last interview with Liz hit like 5,000 views, and then the one before that, which is somewhat kind of controversial too as well, because we kind of exposed all the exclusive variant covers that are kind of just being shady about. That also hit like 5,000 views and whatnot.
It's less exposure and more like we made a more informative video on how things and more in the back end work.
Well, that's not how we worked. That's not how Nowhere Toys worked, and that's not how I worked, and that's not how we worked in when we had a physical store. So
for
I'm just
covers,
yeah, for exclusive variants. So
okay,
but someone did ask. Someone did ask me. He's like, aren't you scared that you're pretty much gonna piss off all the other stores? I'm like, you should only be pissed if you are doing that kind of practice. If you don't do that practice, then you're okay. Why would you be pissed?
Also, why would you care what other stores think?
Yeah. So do you? You know, something that's
especially
like,
when he's Tim's not based off a store anymore.
yeah,
He doesn't
so
care.
The funny thing is too as well is that somebody told me about a one store that says that they have bots purchasing their items through their website. I'm like, no, that's a fucking lie, because no such thing as a bot purchase. Because here, let's be honest, if a bot purchased something, if you purchase something, Lewis, if you purchase something online, you have to give your credit card number, your information, your name, your address, and there has to be a transaction made, right?
I know how bots work, man.
Yeah. So there's bots for eBay auctions, but not for purchases.
Yes, sirs.
Yeah. Because
no, you're wrong. There are.
No, let me ask you this, Lewis. If you were running Nowhere Toys and you have a bot purchase, would you really go online and say, hey, we have some bot purchase, so we're just going to cancel that and restock these?
Why would I buy from my own store?
Thank you. So that is actually happening too as well. So if somebody says like, oh, we have some bot purchases and we are just going to comb through all the purchases and cancel all the bots that gave us money and we're going to restock things. This is what that actually means. It means that they never sold that much copies or didn't do so well that they said that bots bought them and they're going to restock them. There's no restock. They
Why
still
would you
have
do
those
that? You would
inventory.
lose money on fees.
Right?
You would
Exactly.
be like, you would think that that would mean that by rotating that you'd be at zero, but because
Yeah.
of fees, you're losing money. So whoever does that, you're a fucking idiot.
So listen to Lewis. He's a Rain Man. Trust me on this.
Also, by the way, you have to pay bots to use their program, and then there's a monthly fee above that.
Yeah, and then you have to pay for bots. So essentially, you're spending more money just to create
So
something.
unless you can make over $3,000 a year with bots, you're losing so much money.
So essentially, they're trying to, what they're doing, if you're asking why they would do this, is because they're trying to create FOMO and hype. That, look at this, all sold out. You know, so basically for you, you're going to be like, oh man, I missed out. And they'll be like, oh, we combed through some bots. We have some left. Like, no, man, you never sold any of those. It's pure lies. It's like, the way I look at it is this. Some
And there's
sites,
practically no way to identify bots.
Yeah.
There's no difference between them and real people other than the speed of which they bought. And no analytics in your programs will ever show you speed of buying.
Can you imagine that there is a bot?
If a program or at least a shopping like there's a way to comb through it, and then you can see that other than if you're limiting the item one per household, which is easily you can match addresses, which is that's not a problem. But it'd be so weird for them to like justify adding a feature where like, how fast did this person buy from me? 0.01 and 0.01 seconds. That's
and you still have to spend money for that.
Yeah,
that's just
and you
insane.
have to justify like, should you cancel this order because you know at that point like no human can buy an entire purchase at 0.01 seconds. They put all their information manually. They put their credit card information and then went Zoom. I'm like, I could cancel this, or I can just go home and then just ship this out tomorrow.
Right. So
it's very tricky for a business. Unless, you know, once again, we're going back that it's a popular item and we're limiting it per person.
Right.
Then that's a whole different thing.
But, you know, they got to do what they got to do just to, like, create some hype, man. I mean, like, the way it looks.
I mean, that's the wrong way to do it.
If you know how to market properly, just hire somebody to market for you. That's the way I look at it. If you don't know how to market properly, just have someone market for you. That's all it is. That's all I'm saying. But I wish we can get G on the next podcast and we can talk about this because he's one of the ones I've spoken with that actually broke the ceiling for me. Because like when he first told me this, I'm like, that's a lie. Then he showed me. He's like, see, right here. I was like, oh fuck. He's right. What? About like the print runs that we were talking about, the bot ones and all that stuff. He's the one who exposed it for me. It's insane.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So how did you find the analytics for it?
I have to ask him. We'll ask him next time. Next time, let's ask him. Hopefully.
By the way, are you having connection issues?
No, why?
I don't know. You just seem to be breaking up every once in a while. So I'm wondering if that's me or you.
Depending. I always blame you.
Yeah, that's solid. Let's just go with me.
I always blame you. So
the only way we'll ever figure it out is somebody in the comments ever mentions it.
Yeah. So while we have before we end all these things in a little bit, just to let everybody know, we will have John Boy Myers next podcast. Oh, I just saw it broke. We will have John Boy Myers next week. John Boy Myers will stop by. We're gonna talk to John Boy about NFTs. Lewis, have you touched on NFTs yet?
I don't want anything to do with it. It's like stocks. I don't want anything to do with that volatility. I want more sustainable inflow. Like cardboard is my stocks. Leave me alone with these NFT little clip notes. Rather, one, it's a fad and it dies, or two, it's very successful and I still don't have enough to get into the entryway.
It says that you look smooth in stream.
Why am I smooth?
I don't know.
I don't use lotion.
Yeah.
NTFs? Is it NTFs?
Yeah, I said
you keep
NFTs.
saying NFTs,
sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry, yes, NTF. Sorry,
and then
NTF,
I don't even remember what's the correct terminology in it anymore.
NTF, sorry. Yeah, Nate was right. It's NTF. So we're gonna talk to John Boy about NTFs and what he thinks about it. I was speaking with him the other day, and he does have a lot of opinions about it too as well. And then we were also talking about how essentially this is a good way for digital artists to make money too as well. Like, why would you limit them?
It'd be an interesting facet to if especially the more digital prone artists, they can sell their original copy that the layers that they drew. It's pretty much how they sell their paper version. So for Marvel or DC to get mad at that, like, artists has been doing it since like the dawn of time. That's how they make their actual real money.
So essentially, I'll touch on it a little bit. When I was speaking with him, and I won't tell you what his opinion on this is until next
he
week.
Approves it and he doesn't approve Marvel.
No, until next week, and then he'll tell you his own.
Week.
Yeah, he'll tell you.
True.
He'll tell you his opinion at it. Essentially, I told him that I believe that it's because Marvel and DC are not getting a cut from it. Okay.
Yeah, but they weren't getting a cut from their original works either.
No, but listen, when the original works only sells for about $2,000, $5,000, and that's about it. NTF
depending on the person.
Depending on the person, NTF sells for like how much, Lewis? For like almost like millions?
Just because the conversion of that currency, otherwise, like if it wasn't like that high, then it'd be worth less. They're always taking a gamble on what the price of that day, that currency is.
Right. But here's the thing.
It's kind of like you paid me in Bitcoin.
Yeah. But here's the thing though. I looked into NTFs and how they function and how you can actually, if you actually own these, and the way it's set up, I don't think Marvel and DC should be pissed at all. Because one main thing that I saw is that depending on which server you're purchasing your NTFs are at, if that server goes down, essentially your artwork goes down. Forever. So why are you mad that these guys are making money out of digital art? It's the customers that should be mad, because if the server goes down, you paid hundreds and thousands of dollars for nothing.
But that would mean that it's reliability and maintenance of that server.
Yeah.
So like anything else, like people tend to forget that like now that we have so many, like, let's go into video games, Steam, Xbox Live, Epic Game Store, the PlayStation Store is a very on the nose topic on this. Like any of those things shut down, you lose all your games.
All of it.
Everything you paid for. As an example, PlayStation is shutting down the PlayStation 3 store and backwards. So anything you've ever paid on that store is gone. All your PSP games, your Vita games, everything digital that's not already downloaded into your console, gonzo.
Yeah.
So it's just, you're always 1 second away from losing everything digital. And that's why Lewis loves physical merchandise. You can't rob me of my physicality.
Yeah. By the way, with that being said, with PlayStation 2 as well, maybe we can take like a like a nice memory. Take a ride in the memory lane with the last server of PS2 has gone down last week. There's no more PS2 servers. What
The
was your
last time that they fully utilized that was Fantasy Star Online 2.
so what's so last server was down last week. I want to ask Lewis, what's your most fondest memory or fondest game that you played on PS2? The best selling console of all time, still to this day.
Yeah, it's getting competition now. There were no good days. There was just a lot of rage.
PS2.
There was a lot. No, dude, there was a lot of rage.
No, but like you don't have a fond memory in terms of like a game that you like playing on PS2?
All rage. Kingdom Hearts, rage. Banjo and Kazooie, rage. Ratchet and Clank, rage. What didn't not make me angry? Dot hack, more rage.
Yeah. Well, Nate said that you can still download what you own, but you can't buy anything anymore. Yeah, I mean it's already there.
But eventually, it will shut that down. The only reason I think that you could still download everything you own now is purely the fact that it would get such bad press and it'd probably be borderline illegal to keep you from your merchandise that you paid for.
Yeah,
because there was nothing in the contract that you agreed to when you purchased those items to state that in case PlayStation ever shuts down these stores, these games are no longer for downloadable availability.
So before
you can't update your games anymore, as far as I am concerned. So you're pretty much buying the basic version, the basic broken version of a game, and there you go. That's it.
So before we end this this live video cast, just to let everybody know, John Boy will be here speaking with us next Sunday. We have a lot of questions for him too as well. There's a lot of things that have happened since we last had him in here. When we last had him in here, we only had like 300 subscribers. Now we have like 2,000 subscribers. So a lot of things has happened. And then, Lewis, I haven't told you this yet, but a week after that, we will have the full cast, director, and the digital I guess Daniel's a digital artist, FX engineer for the Berserker fan film that we actually co-produced with Geek Vice. So the whole cast will be here. We're going to talk about Berserker and how long it took. I know you guys pretty much know that we posted it before that there was a famous scene with all the blood that they were staying up until 2 a.m. 2 to about 4 a.m. filming the fight scene. So it'll be interesting to speak with them and see how the process was and how the directing was and how long it took. But to end everything in here, I will let you guys know. I'm going to give you guys an insight since you guys stuck around for this. John Boy and I have already talked, and we have finally we have something set for an exclusive variant cover coming out pretty soon. Can't tell you what it is yet, but I know for a fact that that makes Nate a little bit excited. So we have
keep it in your pants, Nate.
Keep it in your pants, Nate. We have an exclusive variant coming out for John Boy pretty soon. We're planning that right now, but that's already locked. But once it's been announced, we will let everybody know what it is. So there's that. Just answer a few more questions before we end here and some comments in there. It's just fun. His memory is Jak and Daxter. No load times when you get through the levels.
There was sci-fi. You just don't remember it. Every time you go into a racing vehicle, literally load. You're just like, you just don't see it because they hide it so well.
Yeah.
FF10. If you do not remember that chocobo racing that you had to do to get Tidus's weapon, you're insane that did not make you rage. God of War. Literally, all my anger issues went into that game. God.
That's why God of War is like a hack and slash because all the anger is just
all the anger. I have released into that game. It's unnatural.
So that pretty much ends our video cast for today. We're gonna take a small little break in here, and we're gonna start recording our podcast. And
Also, by the way, I always want to be part of a show or movie panel. And any questions anybody asks me, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I can't answer any questions.
So we're gonna
transfer have more questions than anything else.
We're gonna transfer over a discussion about DC and Marvel. If the current state and climate that they have right now, where they're actually just introducing new characters after new characters after new characters, just so to take your money. What is going on with them? We're gonna transfer that over to Spotify. We're gonna transfer over that discussion to Spotify. So go ahead and go over to our Spotify. If you're watching this on a Monday morning or Monday afternoon, it's already on Spotify, so go right ahead. If you guys have any questions, definitely let us know. Lewis, any last words for us today? Nothing? Silence? Nothing. Okay, well, this is my last words. Definitely get this. Zoa is really good. This is really good. Not gonna lie. If you can find it, get it. It's not on 7-Eleven. I don't think so. I got it from
it looks like a Publix drink.
Yeah, I got it from GNC. So go to GNC.
Go to Publix.
No, it's not in Publix either.
Trust me, it's in Publix. I've seen it in Publix.
I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Zoa's in Publix.